What's up, guys, and welcome to my review for Alien Covenant. This is my final review in my series of Alien reviews. I've reviewed every single Alien film, not the spin-offs, just the Alien movies, including Prometheus, within this past week. If you want my in-depth thoughts on those movies, you can check those videos out, but this is the sequel to Prometheus. The prequel to Alien, but the sequel to Prometheus. So I loved Prometheus. I just posted my review for that earlier today. I love that movie. I think it's great. And I was so excited to rewatch this movie because I only seen this movie when it came out in theaters in 2017, and I gave this movie a good review when I reviewed it back then. I had only seen a few of the Alien films at that point, so going into it, I don't know I don't know, but time has passed to where now I have a completely different opinion on this film probably because I've watched all of them and I have a new appreciation and love for the series. I am a big fan of the Alien films, even though I really like three of them. And one of them I find a guilty pleasure, and two of them I don't like. And if you're doing the math, that's right. This movie I don't like. I'm just going to be blunt with it. This movie sucks. This movie is my least favorite film in the series. This movie is so bad. It takes 40 minutes for something interesting to happen. The first 40 minutes, you're dealing with a bunch of nonsense with characters that you don't care about, stupid characters. James Franco plays the guy that dies in his cryotube. So he was the captain, and now we got to get a new captain who this guy is. You want to punch him in the face every time you see him. Catherine Watterson is grieving the loss of James Franco, but you don't feel it. You don't care about it because you're just told about it. I mean, it's like, oh, I feel bad for that person, but I don't feel anything personally watching this movie. So I couldn't get myself invested in any of the characters. With Prometheus, look, I do think that the story in that movie is stronger than the characters overall, but that movie's story was so strong right from the get-go that I was instantly invested. This movie, it's the exact opposite. I was like, okay, when is something going to happen? Because this is supposed to be, from all the reviews that I watched for this, it's supposed to be an Alien Prometheus hybrid. So I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the Prometheus stuff to kick in because the first 40 minutes of this movie is really nothing. I mean, honest to God, it's really nothing. So finally, they get down to this planet, and the alien stuff starts to kick in a little bit. The Prometheus stuff starts to kick in a little bit, but guess what? The way that they took the Prometheus storyline in this movie is trash. I mean, it was really despicable how you treated the surviving characters in that film. You have Naomi Rapace, who is killed off screen. Just very much like in Alien 3, you had the little girl and a couple other people that survived that Alien 2 aliens killed off screen. Guess what? Same scenario. Naomi Rapace killed off screen. And then you have the David character, who's the artificial intelligence, the robot, whatever you want to call him, who is taking over as the villain of this movie. He wasn't the villain of the last film. He was a complex, interesting character that I really liked. And in this movie, they take that character, they villainize him, and they just do the most cliched things with him where he's now studying the creatures and the stuff that came from the planet from Prometheus, the stuff from the planet they're on now, and he's basically able to create whatever he's doing. I don't know. It was terrible. What they did with David in this film is terrible. And then you have Walter, also played by Michael Fassbender, who's another robot. That's the most interesting thing of the movie for me. Every scene they had together was interesting. I thought it was a little strange and a little stupid how he teaches him how to play the flute. Didn't really care for that. A lot of it's just kind of dragging on throughout the film. But the way that that whole story ends, guess what? Spoiler alert, it's supposed to be this big shocking twist, but David kills Walter, takes his identity, and at the end of the film compromises the whole thing, and you're never going to know what happens next because now you have Alien Romulus, which is a film that takes place between the first and second movie. So they're probably never going to go back to this. You're not going to know what happens. Now, at the end of Prometheus, I was like satisfied with that movie. Even though you had more questions, I was satisfied with the overall experience. This movie, I was not satisfied with the overall experience because they don't give you any answers, and the answers they give you are ridiculous and unsatisfying. By the time the movie ends and it's the third act, you have two characters that go down in the shower for absolutely no reason to decide to have sex with playing some music in the background after all this craziness happens. I'm thinking, what is going on? What am I watching? We got the xenomorph coming out of the ship. The xenomorph at the end of the movie. It is like slapped in there. It's cliched. It's like Ridley Scott tried to blend these two movies together. Prometheus is not a remake of Alien. Prometheus is its own thing. It's its own story in this universe, and I think that upset a lot of people. I loved it, but guess what? It's not Alien. So when you try to combine that with Alien, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the characters in this movie are stupid. The story is stupid. The whole thing is just like the story was taken in the worst possible direction. This is, like I said, it's my least favorite movie. I would watch Alien 3 any day over this because guess what? At least that movie has Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. This movie, the only character that I really cared about was Walter / David. David from the first movie, not in this movie. I mean, once you meet him, you're interested to see what's going on. But once you realize that he's villainized and he's become the bad guy, basically. I mean, it was just like, oh, they're doing that with this character. And with the Walter character, guess what? It was interesting, but he's murdered, and it's just, I was not a fan of this film. This is a bad film. It's a terrible Alien film. It's a terrible Prometheus film. Whatever you want to call this movie's trash. And it's 1 out of 5 stars. You want to know why? Because Michael Fassbender is trying to carry this movie on his back. And by the end of the film, his back is broken. He can't do it. He's limping through the finish line. It's ridiculous. Catherine Waterston is like supposed to be the lead of the movie, I guess. I don't know. The character I found dull as box rocks. And all the characters, I mean, why is Danny McBride in this film? I don't know. I couldn't take him seriously. I just couldn't take this movie seriously, and I couldn't wait till it ended. I was like, wow, this is like I'm watching a dumpster fire. You've taken one of the most interesting films in Prometheus and turned it into hogwash. Okay? Absolute nonsense. This movie is a bunch of horse shit. So that's my thoughts on Alien Covenant. I'm so excited to see Alien Romulus because you did such a good thing with Prometheus. They did this movie to try to make fans happy with, put more alien stuff in there, but it wasn't well written. With Romulus, you go back to the roots between those first two movies. I'm very excited to see it. Like I said, I'm going to be seeing it in about 3 hours. That review's coming tomorrow. Cannot wait to see that movie. So that's my thoughts. Covenant's my least favorite. My favorite is still Alien, with second place being Aliens, third place being Prometheus, fourth place being Alien Resurrection, fifth place Alien 3, and sixth place Alien Covenant. So, guys, comment down below. What'd you think about the film? Are you excited for Romulus? Planning on seeing it? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Look, I just reviewed every Alien movie. So check those out. Come on back for more, and you can follow me on Twitter and/or X at Ranking72 and Instagram and TikTok at King of Rises 131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Alien Covenant, and until next time, over and out.